Jamaica, Jamaica, sweet, sweet Jamaica, nah left ya. Well, you're not left unless you're being extradited for crimes that you committed while overseas. Hit that subscribe button. Nah, really, go ahead, hit the subscribe button unless you're a hater. Anyhow, man to be extradited to the UK for a 2011 offense. Now, this story right here, right? Welcome back to SoFlo TV again, everybody. Is your host with the most. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on SoFlo TV. You don't want to miss the things them, don't it? And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And it might be a stretch to ask some of you to share, but share the videos for those of you who have a good heart and feel like you want to share the video them. Anyhow, this man now is to be extradited out of Jamaica back to the UK for crimes that he committed, or for an offense rather that he committed in the UK allegedly in 2011. Kingston, Jamaica, according to the Observer. A man who was deported, pay attention to the story, a man who was deported to Jamaica while his case was being prepared for trial is to be extradited back to the UK from Jamaica for an alleged crime that he had committed allegedly. So he was charged with a crime in 2011. If I'm reading that right, before I even go any further into this story, right? While his case was being prepared to go to trial, he was deported. This man apparently was not in the UK illegally. He did not get his day in court to prove his innocence. While his case was being prepared for trial, they deported him. That sounds like a messed up deportation to me. What do you say? Well, let's get more into the story. Let's find out. Yo, let me sidestep and say this for a second. England really take the slave yard Jamaica for idiot, Boy, them just haul and pull away and do what them want. 1 minute we can fly there with no visa needed. The next minute that is confiscated and we have to go apply for a visa to enter. And while they still remain head of state, queen gone and dead, now we have a king over us and all these things. Like, they suck all the benefits out of us, all puns intended, and just do what them want. And the leaders of Jamaica, they just go right along with it. Hey, deport whoever you want to deport. Extradite whoever you want to extradite. Let me ask y'all this. Have y'all ever seen Jamaica extradite anybody from the US or the UK or Canada? Any criminal that was wanted in Jamaica that runway gone overseas? You ever see Jamaica extradite anybody yet? I think I've seen it only once. And I don't even think it was an extradition. But anyhow, I might be wrong. Let's talk. The man's name is Jermaine Scott. And Jermaine Scott was charged with grievous bodily harm and malicious wounding. His attorney in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday revealed that Scott has hired attorneys in the UK already and that they are confident that they can challenge the matter. Imagine if him go back to the UK extradited and beat the case. Are they going to deport him again after he beats the case? Or is he now going to be fully living back in the UK, fully exonerated and able to stay there and restore him life? Because I bet any money right now that he wants to be in the UK and not in Jamaica. Because if he wanted to be in Jamaica before, he would have left. But instead, he was deported. So, the lawyer added that while researching the particulars of the case, he found that there were instances of abuse of process because Scott was deported to Jamaica without the completion of the case. Then, years later, a warrant was issued for his arrest. If you're listening to this, I'm probably just as confused as you are. First of all, they prepared the case, right? And while they were preparing the case to go to court, they deport the man. Y'all see, some of those people that are coming in on those flights, those MAC flights, what they call them? No, we call it MAC flights in the military. They call them charter flights. Some of them people that's coming in on them charter flights, they were railroaded. And the people are telling you their story like, yo, I was railroaded, son. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm checking in. They tell me if I come check in every weekend or every other week to this address. And I go to the home office, I check in. And one day I go to check in and them just grab me and fling me on a plane. And I end up in Jamaica. And next one, it's wicked. It's wicked. You know what I mean? So you could hear them telling you these things like, I didn't get my day in court. My case was supposed to go to court and I'm sitting there waiting for it to go to court. I'm sure I would have been okay once my stuff was heard in court. But before it could even go to court, then put me on a plane and send me off to Jamaica, fam. This is what happened to this person. And after they deport the man, they issue a warrant for his arrest. That sounds like a mix-up in the system. They deport, and they are so quick to deport, they don't even really look at who they are deporting, really. So if you're on that deportation plane and you don't have proper representation, like an aggressive lawyer who is going to run down the plane on the tarmac while it's running to take off and beat down the plane and say, yo, Lego my client, my client didn't get his just due. If you don't have somebody that's really aggressive about your case, more than likely you could end up deported. The lawyer added that while researching the particulars of the case, he found that there were instances of abuse of process. Obviously, this is an abuse of process because Scott was deported to Jamaica without the completion of his case. Then, years later, a warrant was issued. Years later, for his arrest. How y'all issue a warrant years later for a man y'all already sent out of the country? This is obviously a clear case of abuse because he was arrested on this charge in February of 2011, right? And while in custody, awaiting a trial, he was deported to Jamaica as they were preparing to go to trial. Now, 11 years later, on the 9th of February 2022, an offense warrant was issued against him to bring him back to face trial. Yo, they treat us like yo-yos. Just fling it out and draw it back when you feel like it, and fling it out and draw it back when you feel like it. We're like yo-yos to them. We're like puppets and they're puppet masters. The circumstances surrounding Scott's arrest in 2011 were not mentioned in court. It's a matter to be dealt with in court in the UK. So, and they are serious about extraditing him. Honestly, let me finish this, then I'll say what I gotta say. Scott, without any hint of hesitation, he waived all rights to the extradition request. The judge said, Mr. Scott, I'm looking at the consent that was signed. A consent to extradite without formal proceedings. So, you are not challenging the process at this stage. This is what I understand your signature to mean. This is what Senior Parish Judge Laurie Ann Cole Montague said before signing a warrant of committal for Scott to be extradited to the US. Scott said, yes, Your Honor. I don't want to fight anything. Send me to the UK ASAP. I don't want no more court proceedings or nothing. Put me on the first thing smoking up in the air. Send me there. The man probably want to left Jamaica so bad right now. And what I'm going to close this by saying is this. I think the UK realized and they knew that this was coming back to haunt them. So they had to bring him back under this kind of a pretense. This is when you wrongly deport somebody and you don't know how to bring them back without facing a backlash. So you make it seem like, well, he has criminal proceedings that he has to answer to, so we had to issue an arrest warrant and all that. Nah, Y'all violated that man's rights. You deported him while his case was being prepared for trial before he even got to trial. Where is his right to due process? We'll find out more though about this case. So Yada says Jamaica has never used extradition agreements to bring a single soul from any country for a trial in Jamaica. But our government has extradited a large number of Jamaicans. It is fair to say that we have a one-way extradition agreement. Clary says, more than likely they never had a reason to. And then the person also said, and no wonder why the UK insist on a visa before allowing these characters in. I don't know what the hell that means, because obviously this man was robbed of his rights, violated, and deported without due process. That's what I'm saying. Do you know anybody that has happened to? Violated, deported without due process? Talk up. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I think this is real funny, but it ain't my life. I probably wouldn't be laughing. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and I'll catch you on the next video. It's SoFlo TV. I'm out, and I wish all the best to Mr. Jermaine Scott. I'll stay close to this story. I'll tell you how his situation works out in the UK. What a bangaranga if he goes to the UK, goes before a court, and the court charges him with grievous bodily harm and malicious wounding, and then gives the man like 10 years in prison when he was in Jamaica chilling and not in anybody's prison, but fly back to the UK to fight some case from 2011 after being wrongfully deported, and now you end up having to do 10 years in the UK prison and then get deported again back to Jamaica. I don't know. I'm hoping he gets there, beats it, and gets to stay. I'll catch y'all on the next video. I'm out. Peace.